Good morning, Middle Earth, and welcome to another Second Breakfast bonus episode. This one is all about the 1-year anniversary of That's What I'm Tolkien About. That's right, y'all. We made it a year. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. Before we get started with the total chaotic energy that is Ethan, Tyler, and I podcasting together, a quick announcement that I have a listener survey that I would love for you to take. This is so I can get a better understanding of who you are, who my audience is. And I want to know, like, have you seen the movies? Have you not seen the movies? Have you read the books? Are you even a fan of Lord of the Rings at all? I want to have a better understanding of who you are as a human being. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that deep. It's a couple questions. It's really quick and easy. And the link will be in this episode description. And then also, we were just too silly and off topic for me to ever actually be serious, but I want to give like a formal, official, huge, massive thank you to literally everyone who has put their hands on this podcast in any way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for listening to this for a year. I legitimately didn't think I would have any listeners at all. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to everyone who has ever been a guest. I've had so many guests and they've all been amazing. When I started this podcast, I was deeply terrified of having guests that would come on and judge me and make fun of me for not knowing anything, which I get is kind of the gimmick, or think I was stupid or be really not fun and they would take this too seriously or something. So like I'm just so amazed by the people that I've gotten to talk to. Thank you so much to Vaishon Brandon for designing beautiful, amazing cover art and the logos and everything. I love it so much. If you ever need any kind of design work done, look no further than Vaishon Brandon. He's awesome at graphite.vnb on Instagram. And then also thank you to the entire WBNE network. They're amazing people to get to be a network on with. So if you haven't listened to any of the other WBNE shows, you should go do that right now. Actually, but before you do that, you should listen to the rest of this episode. So here we go. All right. I never know how to open my bonus episode things.
So this is, hold on. We were talking about writing essays. 5 paragraphs? Who writes essays this way? If I submit an article to BuzzFeed, it's 5 paragraphs, they will not run it.
I mean, but who writes essays anymore? I'm not Alexander Hamilton. Like, I'm not writing the 55 essays about a topic. I'm writing a book.
I get that, but Ethan, we are in the film review world. Do you know who writes essays to the public?
If Alexander Hamilton had written Federalism, a novel, he probably would still be alive.
They didn't have printing presses back then. No,
yes, they did.
Sort of a major plot point of that musical.
No, I know.
Several major plot points.
The printing press. I didn't know Hamilton was about the printing press. That sounds awesome.
The existence of the printing press is implied in Hamilton.
I know it.
Yes. The Reynolds
I should
pamphlet.
know the year.
Have you read this?
Man, that one is my favorite song in the show.
All I know is all people only want us to talk Hamilton, so I feel like that's been our
Mary
most
Clay doesn't want to
successful.
watch Hamilton. Mary Clay picked a very bad time to not be into Hamilton.
I don't want to watch it. I'm so over it. I know it was in the 1400s, 1440.
Gutenberg printing press.
Yeah.
Johannes Gutenberg.
I've seen Hamilton 6 times.
Oh man, that's
6
numbers.
6.
Oh yeah. I'm well over 10.
That pains me.
I'm sure you are, because you did 4 days, 4 times first day. I might be at 7. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure.
That pains me.
Do you know what happens
So
when you
good.
open Disney Plus and your option is Hamilton or literally anything else on Disney Plus? It is so easy to be like, oh, I'll
Or
just
you
watch that
just
again.
don't open Disney
It's
Plus.
so easy to click Hamilton, and it shows the castle and does like thing. And you're like, I'm sucked in.
So
this is it.
Here's my one and only take that we're gonna get on Hamilton, and then we are moving on because I'm so my energy for it is out.
Just watch it.
I don't want to watch it because if I wanted to go,
I promise you, it's better than the touring cast you saw.
If I wanted to go watch a musical, if I want a professional taped recording of a play or a musical, I literally just want someone to set up a tripod in the back of the theater and leave it alone. Because the part that I enjoy about theater is that you can look all around the stage and be like, oh, look at that background ensemble member. Oh, I didn't realize that Burr was standing in the corner of this stage during this scene. But when you have it like cinematographically, that's not a word.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
It does a really good job of letting you see Burr in the corner or whatever it is.
There's a really easy solution to this problem, though. Watch it 7 times.
Oh, there we go.
You'll pick things up. You'll be like, what is Man 5 doing back there with the cane? No, but you're still just
watching the same shots over and over again. I want to be able to watch it 7 times and stare at 1/4 of the screen whole time.
It's the comfort of your own home.
And then just see what goes on in that part in the upper left corner of the stage. I want to see what happens in upper left stage.
Mary Clay.
It took me until the last time I watched it to realize that during the Reynolds pamphlet, Washington looks all disappointed at Hamilton and then picks up the literal chair that was at his desk and walks away with it. Then they're doing the whole, you're never gonna be president now thing. Like, these are things I would never have picked up on.
The other thing is that in 2016, there was a fantastic joke going around on Tumblr, and I turned it into an audio post. No, and I turned it into an audio post because the original one disappeared, and it's such a fantastic joke, and now people are laughing at it again like it's brand new content, and I'm like, no, this has been around for 4 years.
I hear wailing in the streets. Somebody tells me you done messed up, Aaron.
Yeah, they're new fans
joke has
now.
Been around
That's like the least funny thing you could say
years.
Regarding Hamilton.
For 4 years.
Yeah, that's a dead joke.
And now people are it's not, because people on TikTok
Ethan,
are acting like they invented it.
Ethan, set it up. I hear wailing in the streets thing. Here, set it up for me, please.
I don't know the melody for that.
Just sing the freaking line, Ethan. Come on.
I hear wailing in the streets.
That's a whale.
Is a whale noises? Okay, yeah. Anyway, welcome back to That's What I'm Tolkien About. My name is Mary Clay Watt.
This is...
My name's Ethan Edghill. And my name's Mary Clay Watt.
And my name's Mary Clay Watt.
I regret making this podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hold on. Conceptually, I hear what you're saying about Hamilton. One seat, like that's how it was when you see it in the theater. I didn't get to see stage right or stage left. I don't know. The right side when you walk in. Because I was seated like behind that. What literally ever? Oh my God. I run a film podcast. I don't need your pretentious takes.
If you're looking at the stage, if you're in the audience looking at the stage, everything is opposite.
That's stupid.
Because it's from it's from the actor's point of view.
Anyway.
So that when you're blocking it, you're like, hey, go stage left. The actor goes to their left.
You should just watch it. Just it's like it's 2.5 hours. Just
also, I'm not going to pay $15 a month.
We have a business account.
Have a business account.
I'm not going to log into it out of principle.
I'm going to keep paying for it. I'm going to buy a second account.
I ignored Hamilton on principle for like 5 years, and I regret this time. I could have gone to see it in December, and I chose not to because I didn't like Hamilton.
And that's okay. Honestly, I went and did see it in December, and I wasn't super
I was going to see it on Broadway.
Okay.
The Road Way.
That would have been so much money, man.
It's less than you would have thought, but more than I wanted to pay without ever having experienced it.
Look, all I know is my brother was like, we have season tickets. And I'm like, okay, sounds good.
Cool, so let's talk about the making of That's What I'm Talking About.
Is that what this is about? I genuinely no idea.
Okay, hello. I see. This is what happens when I don't come up with some kind of introduction for my bonus Saturday second breakfast podcasts. Things devolve into chaos.
Wait, is this like public?
No. Yeah, this will be going public.
So this isn't like just for patrons. Saturday. This is like for everybody.
Yes. Yeah. It's like a 1 year celebration thing.
I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you, by the way. Can we just, for 1 second, you've been doing this for a whole freaking year. That's the coolest thing. We were like not friends before this. And then we were like, you saw your tweet, right? I guess we're going to get into this.
Do you know when the tweet was?
Yes. Yeah, let me pull it up. Yeah, so okay, I genuinely feel like I need to do like, hello, listeners. Welcome to Second Breakfast. This is a bonus episode. Right. Welcome.
I'm not actually Mary Kelly Watt. I'm Ethan Edghill.
And I'm Tyler Carlin.
Are the bane of my existence, Ethan Edghill and Tyler Carlin.
You can't spell bane without BNE.
This is true, unfortunately.
You tweet too much. You should try tweeting less things.
Who, me?
Yes, I'm only in June.
I think that is the theme song of this
my
merry
dress.
group is you tweet too much.
Too much.
You
I have
invest
so many-
too much energy in the least valuable social media.
My favorite thing is when I'll start writing a tweet, but then the idea disappears like halfway through, but I'm like, no, this will come back to me later. So I save it as a draft. So I have 4 tweets in a row saved as drafts right now. One just says, creators are human too. Great. I don't know what the point I was going on with that one was.
Man,
Are we
you were
just going
about to
through drafts?
really defend somebody right there. You were
I
you were
put-
going to James Charles
I know,
was
right?
ready for your lawyering
Question is
up.
who?
It had to be about Jenna Marbles. It has to be.
Oh, it's got to be Jenna Marbles.
It's got to be Jenna
then,
Marbles.
yeah, maybe. Then I have a year later, here's the video. And there's no video. So I guess I haven't edited the video yet. And then I also have full bed. Just that.
Hold on? Do you sleep on a queen or a full?
No, I have a full bed. So I know it's somehow in relation to a full mattress. So, but I wrote full bed.
You sleep on a full size bed?
And yes.
Okay,
Because
that's cool.
I'm single. When am I?
I mean, I feel like I could sleep on a pair of twin beds. No, I couldn't. But
And then I have end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko goes it. That's it. I don't know what that was in reference to.
all I know is
So.
people love Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Those are all my favorite cryptic tweets.
I have
Okay,
very
yeah,
few
so-
drafts, like extremely few drafts. I'm not really a draft
Oh.
person, but I do have one that says, and actually a lot of my drafts were like things I decided not to say during like the riots.
Yeah, smart move. Yep.
Understandable.
Just like things I ended up rewording or doing something differently. But I do have a tweet that says, petition for Billy Joel to remake We Didn't Start the Fire about 2020, but he still for some reason has to yell trouble in the Suez.
Okay.
That's my only recent draft.
That's a joke that's over my head.
Do you? Yeah. So my drafts.
I don't draft, man. I
I
don't.
wish your drafts were dated.
Did you find the tweet?
Oh yeah, is that what I was pulling up?
Yeah, I want to know when the tweet is, and I want the actual, because we're telling the story of how this got started, right?
Yeah, so I wanted to have y'all on because I think I don't even know if I know like the full story and like all our sides of how That's What I'm Talking About came to be, and I think it's a funny, interesting story that's pretty unique to how a lot of people start podcasts. So I just thought it would be fun for us to go down memory lane about a year, 14 months ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
So on May 5th of Cinco de Mayo of 2019, I tweeted, podcast idea. I read the Lord of the Rings movies, having only seen the first movie and hating it, and have hardcore Lord of the Ring fans on as guests, a la Potterless. It's called That's What I'm Tolkien About.
So I'm gonna roll it back to January of
Oh,
20,
geez. What?
2019. Yeah, 2019.
Okay.
Tyler and I are at PodCon, right? And at
The
PodCon,
great- Holy crap. Hold on. Back it up real quick.
Do not be bragging about how cool PodCon is now that there is no more PodCon.
I know,
not gonna
right?
Don't be about
I'm
to
not.
do
That's not
that.
the point. That's not the point.
That's not the point. But let me. If you are a aspiring podcaster and you're curious about like, should I spend money to go to one of these podcasting conventions? Yes.
Yeah, you should do that.
You should do whichever one is near you. It might be really expensive. They've gotten very pricey for some reason. I don't care.
And I think they're all canceled for the year anyway. So.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna
Obviously
say there
not
are
right
no
now,
more.
but like when things pick back up, don't do the digital one. Go in person, network, meet people. Anyway, move on.
So Tyler and I go to a seminar at PodCon about monetizing your podcast, right? And one of the people on this panel is Mike Schubert of Potterless.
He's like the chairman of the panel.
No,
he's not. You're right. But he is definitely the most charismatic person on that stage.
yes, absolutely. He's the one that made an impression. And I'm like, what is Potterless? He's like, yeah, so I'm the guy that reads Harry Potter and had never read Harry Potter before. And I was like, man, this is a really good idea. I wish there was other things we could do this with. Fast forward 3 months. Mary Clay Watt, this person who had like just generally gotten in Tyler and I's mentions for the last year and some change about this podcast. Person we went to school with, but I had never met in school.
We didn't just go to school with. You were in WCNU,
Yeah,
so you had a radio
yeah.
show.
backing this up even further, Tyler, Ethan, and I all went to CNU together, and I was in a different year than them, and we all did the college radio, WCNU.
You also, correct me if I'm wrong, you were also in the service fraternity thing?
No.
No? Okay, sorry. I had that backwards.
No. That's cute that you think I would serve others.
Well, that's that's kind of what I was thinking, but you look like a York East person, so like that's PLP.
Oh, I was I wasn't in a service but yeah, I was in PLP.
Did you
for
finish
a semester.
PLP? Okay,
no,
I was about to say there's no way. You took a leadership minor.
Have I not told you guys this?
No.
Yeah, I was so our school has a leadership program, and my parents made me do it because so the high school I went to, we had a specialty center. All the high schools in my county have different like specialty centers, and the one at my high school was leadership. It was like leadership in government, and I don't even remember. And you apply to get into these centers in 8th grade, and I didn't get in, and I didn't care because I'm not a leadership in government kind of a studying gal. So, but my parents were very dead set on me doing like all the smart kid things because I was a smart kid. And I think they were emotionally hurt that I wasn't in the center. And so when I got into PLP, they're like, you're doing it whether or not you want to. And I was like, I don't want to study leadership. And they're like, too bad. So I did it for a semester. Actually, I did it for like a semester and a half. And halfway through spring semester freshman year, I was like, I don't like this. So I dropped.
Like everyone.
And yeah.
Yeah, like 90% of people.
It was a great decision. I was still in the honors program, though.
I was not.
Did you get
Finger
a good GPA?
guns. Finger guns. Finger guns. Yeah, I was magna cum laude, y'all.
Nice.
Get out.
Yeah, like I said, I was a smart kid.
Holy crap.
I was smart in high school. I mean, I'm
don't
still
wanna
smart
tell
today.
you
Half of
but
my brain cells
I do not
have
want to tell you
died.
what my graduating GPA was.
It was the only... Look, here's the thing about my graduating GPA. Yes, am I very happy with it? Of course. Does it do anything to fill the void in my life?
Is it on
No.
your resume? That's what I want to know.
It is on my resume.
I would
Yeah,
never
mine-
put
Your
mine.
ex it is.
I did much better than Tyler, and I'm still ashamed of mine.
Yeah, no.
Oh man. Oh my god. Like as happy and proud
I'll tell you.
as I am of that number, does it do anything to make me feel better as a person?
My grade point average definitely reflects the work I put in college.
Oh
Not
my
my
God,
intelligence,
yes.
but the work I put in college.
Was there anything more frustrating than going to a class in college and really giving it your all and getting a good grade and then being like, crap, I could have done this for
I got
all
like
of them.
So my freshman year, I got like a 2.1, and then my senior year, I got like a 3.6. So it didn't even out the way I wanted it to, but like I definitely at some point was like, okay, I might have to try in college.
2.1 would have
Yeah.
been an improvement on my graduating GPA.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I graduated with a 2.75. Cool.
Yeah,
Anyway, so take you back to this.
Okay, yeah, so anyway, yeah, so we all did our college radio, and so I think because of that, Tyler's Twitter popped up into my like recommended people to follow, and I was like, okay, cool. And I think every now and then I would see you tweeting about like, oh, we're, like we're in the studio doing our show. Tell us what your favorite movie is or something.
We didn't do a movie show then, but I'm
And
so sorry
no,
for the tweets that we did then.
No. Because I remember, like, maybe the one and only time I actually did listen to y'all's show. Because I was like...
That's all it takes
don't
is
remember.
one listen.
I know, one time. You tweeted something about, like, we're talking about movies. And I
There we
replied
go.
and was like, oh, Donnie Darko's a good one.
Oh, and Ethan ripped into you.
And, I
Had
don't
to have.
remember what y'all
Had to
said,
have.
but...
Yeah.
Absolutely had to have. I know me 7 years ago, 100% chance I was like, Donnie Darko's the worst movie ever.
It's a good movie.
It's so good. Don't listen to it.
So, spring of 2000.
So, like, that kind of brought me into at least Tyler's Twitter sphere at some point or another. I think I followed Ethan.
Yeah,
No,
we
hold
launched
on.
the podcast, definitely, and then you followed me.
Hold on, I have a question. Did you know my brothers? Was that like any influence on you following me? Or
No.
were you like, what's Super Carlin Brothers?
That's the other thing that I make fun of a lot is
Be nice.
so when no. So when y'all first were like, "Oh, we want to help you produce this thing," I was like, "Oh, I think I've seen Tyler's other brothers pop up in my like recommended people to follow," because I remember seeing the last name Carlin.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, I think these guys are his brothers. I think they have a YouTube channel. What is this?" I was like, "Maybe I should look into this." And I was like, "Oh, they have a 2 million subscriber empire going on here." Okay. But I kept, until I like, before I researched that, I just kept getting like recommended to follow your brothers. So every time someone popped up, I was like, oh my God, how many brothers does this kid have? So I thought you had like 10 brothers.
Yeah, there's the Super Carlin Brothers. There's 10 of them, and then their youngest brother, Tyler, who doesn't work there.
And then especially because it said in their bio, I wouldn't, like the first couple times I like clicked on their profiles, I didn't actually like go to the YouTube channel or anything. It just said in their bio, Super Carlin Brothers. So my head associated the word super with like a lot for some reason. And I was like, oh, they have some kind of company where it's all of the brothers.
Millions of Carlin brothers.
Many Carlin. You can be a Carlin brother if you want to.
So in my mind, it was basically like the Duggars, but Carlins.
Oh, God. You know, it's so funny. This isn't that funny. There's a lot of connecting points here. But my dad's boss when we were growing up had a Duggar-type family. Lots of kids. Anyway.
Cool.
You want to know what's weird? Duggar TikTok.
Not there
Doug
yet.
talk? No, I'm not
I
there.
got onto Duggar TikTok, and it's people like rating the girls' wedding dresses and bridesmaids' dresses.
I'll tell you.
And
I have fully made it into Frog TikTok.
Ooh, Frog
that's
Talk.
a good place to be.
Frog TikTok thinks I am one of them.
Tick Hop.
And you know what? They have their own individual sets of jokes that I like don't get. It'll be like a frog sitting on something sadly, and it'll play that "Give Me the Beat, Boy" song.
What on earth
every single one of them,
context
and I'm
do you
like,
need?
This is so I know, but this is just like I don't hear that song ever on TikTok except when it's a frog.
Literally just spit all over, like we're talking Jonathan Groff.
Okay, real quick. Hamill stands. That was intentional. That was a character choice.
It was not.
I
Yes,
don't
it
think
was.
it was.
No, it
I think I bet you he walked off the stage that night and was like, I can't believe
No, he's
I did
always
that.
like that. Apparently, he just spits when he sings constantly.
Oh my God.
I would still have thought that was good because he only does it in that first song. My understanding was that first song was like Baby King George.
He's wet the whole time.
That's
I think we all are.
Anyway, so spring of 2019. Mary Clay
my God,
tweets
I'm
this.
crying.
Can you read the tweet again?
so okay. So other context, the way that this tweet came out is I was driving around the Target parking lot trying to find a parking spot, as one does.
Not
Broad
here.
Street
on
Target?
Huh?
The Broad Street Target?
Yeah.
The one
Nice.
with the across the street. There's like a bunny costume. It's like waving
Yes.
outside. That's
that
the one. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
the one down toward the West End?
Yeah, that's the one. What is that?
We
That's
are
at
the
Libby.
least focused group in the world. Mary
fine.
Clay.
So I was driving around looking for a parking spot, and the song "Let's Give 'Em Something to Talk About" came on the radio, and my brain was trying to work the word Tolkien into "Let's give 'em some." So I was like, just driving, like, "Let's give 'em something to Tolkien about." And I was just reworking that idea while I was driving around in the parking lot, and then I came up with "That's what I'm Tolkien about," and then I tweeted it, and then so it says, podcast idea. I read Lord of the Rings, having only seen the first movie and hating it, and have hardcore Lord of the Rings fans on as guests, a la Potterless. It's called "That's What I'm Tolkien About."
Do you know what the problem with Tolkien compared to JKR is?
He's dead. Blessedly.
God, thank God. Can you imagine? Huh. Anyway, the good thing is when you finish the series, you were like, that actually, well, I guess you haven't finished, but as you get closer to the end, you're like, that was actually pretty freaking good. And I don't think Mike said the same thing. I don't know. Could be wrong. I did not listen.
Okay, now let's let Ethan tell his side that
so
you interrupted.
I see this tweet and I'm like, this is gold. I hate that she had this idea without me, a person who barely knows her. I'm like, how can I swindle this person into like letting us have this show under our umbrella. And so I think about this for a whole 11 days. Okay, I think Tyler and I maybe have mentioned it back and forth, talked about it a little bit.
No, you didn't, because you replied like an hour later and said, "Backed, how can I assist you in making this a reality?"
Yeah, but then like, I didn't actually think it was going to go anywhere. I didn't think it was going to end up being like,
I mean, neither did I.
we make you a formal offer or whatever. So fast forward 11 days. I am at my brother and me live show in Cincinnati, Ohio, hammered.
I think we all are.
The best of our ideas.
And I text Tyler and I say, I want to offer Mary Clay a deal. We'll cover her Podbean for a year. I'll produce the show. We'll call it a Bacon and Eggs podcast. We'll allocate some small number of dollars per month for advertising, and we'll take, say, 20% of whatever she makes from advertising and eventual Patreon. I don't know if it'll be profitable or not, but I'd rather have her under the umbrella. And Tyler said, yeah, I'm game with that. I'd like to set up an official conversation. And I said, I'm pitching it to you first, though.
I already said yes.
Wait, is this the actual text?
That's the actual text.
Word for word, yeah.
Yeah, that's word for word. On
Oh my gosh.
6:35 p.m. May 16th, 2019.
And to this day, I don't think we've turned a profit. So,
This is accurate.
but you
We
have,
did.
and that's really what matters. I wanted you to make money. That's
We did
all
just
that
pay for your
matters.
second year, I believe. So
Yeah.
So keep
that's
going.
Podbean also does not notify you at all that you're about to be charged
Yeah, it just
$108.
doesn't.
It was just like,
true. I got the email and was like, oh,
Also, you'll be pleased to know, Mary Clay, Podbean has caught up and figured it out its things.
thank the Lord. I was just mostly mad because, Tyler, I'm going to kick you off of this podcast.
It'll just be like
And-
Ethan and Mary Clay, and occasionally there'll be just like a bout of silence where my audio was.
Oh my God. Yeah, what if I just deleted your audio when I go to edit this?
It'd be wild. It'd be a wild effort.
Okay, anyway, so I don't even know what we were talking about.
No,
yeah,
so that's how it happened.
so Tyler's in, and then like a couple days later, y'all texted or messaged me, and were like, "So are you actually going to do this podcast thing?" And I was like, "I mean, IDK, I was like, truthfully, still hungover 2 days later from my sister's wedding, and was like, I can't think about that right now. But I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe, sure. And then you guys were like, cool. Do you want to come on our podcast for an episode? And I was like, okay. And I was immediately suspicious.
And then on May 23rd, that happened.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, because you guys were like, we're going to cover Ocean's 11. Do you want to come on? And I was like, I have never in my life tweeted about Ocean's 11.
Well,
I was
yeah,
like,
okay.
I maybe would have gotten it if like you had me come on for like Captain Marvel or something.
Well, we were
Or-
already going to do Ocean's. Much like how we came up with this week's idea. We were already going to cover Ocean's 11. And then we're like, man, we should get Mary Clay on for an audition.
there we
for
go,
a screen
yeah.
test.
Audition is such a weird way to, like, looking back on it now, it's like, I mean, I guess we did put like dollars into it, so I understand why we were like, let's do some research. But
Yeah. We
I
just
can't
wanted to make sure you
imagine
weren't
if-
whack and that it like was
Right.
going to be chill.
Joke's on you.
No, oh my God.
Because
Holy
I
crap.
am.
You are not whack at all. We are so lucky at WBNE. There's so many not good podcasters out there, and none of them are on our network.
So that's how the network got started.
Yeah, that was the first show added to the
weird,
network,
yeah.
and then there were 4 more, I think. Yeah,
4 more what?
Yes.
What shows?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I just remember that first episode, the doing Ocean's 11, and just in the back of my mind being like, this is weird, but okay.
Were you like, I don't want? You had long hair that day. Were you like, I don't want? Like, I'm not having fun, or were you like, this is a lot of fun? What if we finished it and Ethan was like, cool, can you edit it? Would you have been like, oh, no?
Yeah, it would've been
even to
like,
this day, I
no.
was like, Mary Clay should just let me edit her show. Not to this day, but like for a while. Because you would like complain about editing. You were like, I want to do it myself. And I was like, I mean, okay, that's fine. It'll be a lot less
Yeah.
effort for me.
Yeah, no, I'm like way too controlling and type A too. I'm the kind of person that one time I asked, like, whenever in school our teachers were like, this is going to be a group project, I was like, can I do this alone?
Oh man.
So,
Ugh.
because I don't trust other people.
So how's the experience been making a podcast for a year?
Oh my gosh, that's what's weird is that like okay, so actually, what were y'all's like first, I don't know, ideas or impressions or expectations for like how this was gonna go?
I had no idea. I thought the idea was good enough that it would either be like a viral success, which like I would never bank on, because like viral success in podcasting does not work.
Yeah.
Like nobody, the McElroys don't have that. Joe Rogan doesn't have that. Like nobody has that.
Except for Serial.
Serial
Damn,
had
Sarah
that.
Koenig.
Serial had that. And like it has spawned the most frustrating, largest. Serial had that, and That's Why We Drink had that. That was like they had like an overnight viral success.
Yeah, that got put on the BuzzFeed like 5 podcasts you have to listen to.
And they
I
went
just
from,
like randomly found them one day on Spotify.
Yeah, but they went from like 10,000 to 10 million downloads like overnight.
Oh wow.
I listened from the beginning because I knew.
But even then,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
like
did, yeah.
it was like BuzzFeed's victory that they were so big.
Yeah.
Like BuzzFeed puts out a gazillion articles a day that don't go anywhere. So I thought this is either going to be like wildly successful beyond what we know what to do with. But I didn't like, I was pretty sure we could manage whatever happened, or it's going to like flop. And I'm happy to say that neither of those things happened. It is like the best, most consistent growing show on the network, which is awesome. And I love to see, and it's really cool to watch your numbers grow. And I love like opening TikTok and seeing like you have like almost 7,000 followers on TikTok, and right there in the bio is That's What I'm Talking About. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, you bet I'm gonna use my viral TikTok, my TikTok fame, if you will. No pictures, please. TikTok is one of the most useless platforms to have. Like, I have a video with over 400,000 views.
And it gets
that
you
is
nothing.
useless.
Yeah, it's same with
That's
Twitter.
Absolutely useless.
I honestly think, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's totally useless. It's the same thing on Twitter. Like somebody will have a viral tweet and beneath it used to be mixtapes. I honestly, like, obviously I love the petitions and the donations and everything that's underneath viral tweets right now. But I miss the like little guy
going viral over something and then
like promoting his SoundCloud or whatever it was. Like, I think that's a fun, exciting thing. And now I feel like if the little guy with the SoundCloud wins Twitter for the day, then he can't be like, oh, check out my SoundCloud. He has to direct things back to
there's
more
like an
noble
expectation
causes.
nowadays that you have to have like you have to be like a responsible. That's how long it took my brain to come up with the word responsible.
You're so
Holy
responsible.
Cow. You have to be like a responsible Twitter user now. So,
Yeah.
Internet, whatever. Okay, yeah. So I also kind of had similar. I thought for sure I was like, this is gonna do nothing, and it'll just be, I guess, fun for a couple weeks, and then they're gonna realize that this is such a dumb
paid for the
thing.
year, so you're stuck.
I know, right? I was like,
yeah, I think that was our deal, is that you had to do it for 6 months.
yeah, and I was like, they're gonna immediately regret this like a couple weeks in, and they're gonna realize that this is a disaster and that nothing is happening, and they're gonna be like, so it's okay if you don't want to do this anymore.
Screw that. If you ever sent me a message that was like, I don't want to do this, I would have spent the next like 6 hours trying to sell you on continuing to do it.
I'm still dreading the day when you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I am really scared that you're almost done with the books, because that means that there's a chance for a milestone conversation.
I promise there's not, because I'm going to do at some point. I need to record like a frequently asked questions like episode,
so people stop asking if you're going to cover the movies.
So people stop asking me if I'm going to cover the movies. So, which, like, I appreciate that I have listeners that want to keep listening to me cover this stuff. But yeah, so like at one point or another, I am going to do some kind of frequently asked questions thing where I say like, I'm going to be covering I'm going to cover the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm going to do the Hobbit book. I'm going to do the Hobbit movies. I'm going to do the animated movie. I'm going to do the,
But the real question is like, are you doing the rest of Tolkien's works?
That's what like we're gonna have to.
But like he doesn't have
That's
works
the
that matter.
milestone conversation, right? I feel like the Silmarillion is like the end of the gray area. And then like, I'm not saying you have to do the Silmarillion. Maybe that's the entrance to the gray area.
The thing is that it's not necessarily that like I don't want to cover it or I don't want to keep podcasting. It's that sometimes I already kind of have a hard enough time finding guests to read the book.
Right.
I can only imagine how much harder it will be to find guests who are willing to read like this obscure work of Tolkien that is incredibly dry and dense.
Right. And I think that there's like an option there. There's a few options, at least from my perspective, of being like, well, for the Silmarillion, there is not other guests. There's Casey Winters, and he joins me every week.
It's just me and Casey have a podcast.
Which is like, I would like, if that's what you want to do, I'm down. But like, there's
Casey's
also like
calm, quiet, intelligent energy. And then there's me who, Tyler, in our episode, I was like, what do you mean Cirith Ungol and Minas Morgul are two different towers?
Exactly right. Or you have, I think there's an option for like a certain type of guest for you to seek out, and you'd have to do it like in advance. But I feel like with something like the Silmarillion, which is so insanely dense, you could literally seek out like, not like internet Tolkien scholars, but like college professors who teach
I'm
it.
afraid to have anyone smarter than the Winters on. Because
one day you might have to. We'll see.
I know. But I'm afraid to have any of the Tolkien scholars on because they take this so seriously.
Heaven
and then
forbid.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, yeah, so Gollum was wearing Boromir's skin suit.
Yes, that's what's so great. I think that they would find that refreshing. I think
I
imagine they would be just this much pedantic.
Actually, that's kind of what I thought when I like came up with this idea. I was coming at it from a place of like, oh, this will be hilarious because it's going to be me who doesn't give a flying fart about Lord of the Rings coming in and just absolutely decimating this like classical work of fiction and infuriating.
Because that's what Potterless is Mike the whole time is just like, this is stupid, wizards are dumb, and people are like, no, they're not.
I know, yeah. I just thought it was going to be me having guests on and making them mad. So
yeah, and then you immediately realized that the thing was not that bad.
It's okay.
It's so good. Get out of freaking.
So actually, as listener, okay, I'm trying to think. So this is coming out this Saturday. So in about, oh my god, my brain.
Oh, the thought of using a calendar.
I'm trying to think on podcast time here. In about a week and a half, I think maybe, you will hear my full thoughts on the chapter. But as we're recording this, I have read the Mount Doom chapter where they destroy the ring. And it blew my mind. I was kind of in denial that it had happened. And I was just like, because I was like, I've been doing this for a year, living, like waiting for this moment, doing everything in my entire being to avoid finding out this detail. And then I read it and I was like, Gollum? Are you kidding me? It was him! We have him to thank for this!
You're gonna have to put a spoiler alert right there. I've read your reviews. Some people get mad that you spoil
that
things.
made me laugh that I spoiled someone on Lord of the Rings.
So
in like the first month.
So
oh man. Anyway.
To be fair, we did sell it as like, listen along with Mary Clay as she learns things. Who knows nothing,
well, I mean, the thing that I had learned is that Gandalf dies and comes back to life. And apparently that was a spoiler. It was mostly just that I was surprised that there were people who knew less than I did. So, but yeah, I can't believe that like I've never done, that was the other thing is that I haven't done anything for a year except live. And that's been for 25 long years. So the fact that like I've been doing anything for a year at all is insane. And I keep joking that like, well, I mean, technically, let's say today's the 21st. Something could go drastically wrong in the next 3 days. But
don't say
we'll
that.
see.
Don't say that. So how many chapters do you have left?
So, 6?
Dang.
I think. I'm going to...
So we got like
fewer chapters.
7 months of content
well,
left.
See, I was going to say, that's what's so funny is throughout Return of the King, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm almost finished. And then I'm like, oh no, I still have like 15 more weeks left of this. I'm not almost finished at all. But I am a little bit ahead of where I have been working ahead recently because I'm going to the beach the first week in August. So I'm trying to like take off that week and not have to like edit or record that week or anything.
You're welcome for an hour and a half long episode.
Huh?
I got you ahead. I got you 2 episodes.
You did. So, and now I'm going to have to edit more of you. I feel like I just finished editing you.
I have to edit Tyler's voice a lot.
I'm easy to edit. I don't swear. I'm easy.
Oh my god. The problem is that like we feed into each other's chaotic energy. And that's fun, except for when you're trying to actually cover something.
Okay, so I really wish that I could. Like, my brain processed the whole chapter and was like, I can't wait to talk about this detail and this detail and this detail and this detail. I can't. It's just not there. And I'm like so scared of Arrival here in the next 15 minutes.
Final Fantasy.
Oh my god, I forgot about Final Fantasy conversation.
Yeah, you talked a lot about Final Fantasy. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of where we're at now. It's been a crazy year, and I'm not, just because I'm in. It would have been. That being said, like it would have been really nice if me finishing Return of the King had aligned with my 1-year anniversary, but I guess not. Whatever.
Did you do like 6 2-parters? Because if so,
no. I would have had to. Actually, I would have had to do the opposite, where there were a couple. Remember those times when I was doing fellowship and I was covering like 2 chapters in one episode?
Yes, I remember this. and you were like, "Should I know?"
And then we all like
we kept saying no, and you were like, "I'm gonna do it anyway."
Well, because in the beginning, there was one chapter where literally all they did was like sit around a living room, and Frodo was like, so I have the ring. And then the other hobbits were like, yeah, we know. And then they left.
But I was, in my mind, I was fast forwarding to today when we're like,
now.
So what are you going to do next?
The movies.
And like, those are valuable weeks that we could have been.
I'm literally going to be covering the movies for months. Like, I would imagine that each movie is going to have 3 episodes at least, and then I'm going to have additional episodes specifically about the extended editions and the unedited director's editions.
There are no.
And then when you're done with all those,
like,
you get to come on Bacon and Eggs.
And then, yeah. So, like, I'm going to be covering the movies for months, and then I start The Hobbit. And that'll be another 3 months probably. And then there are 3 Hobbit movies.
Yeah, for some godforsaken reason.
I don't think the Hobbit movies are going to take you as long.
There are 3 Hobbit movies.
No, they're just as long, though.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but I don't
that's the
think
problem.
people want you to talk about them as much.
I don't think so either.
Hour for hour.
Right.
As long as far as I'm concerned, wherever Benedict Cumberbatch is slithering around on the floor in a mocap suit, I'm there.
Well, you don't get to actually see that in the movie. They
You
do
just
put
get to
the
see the
dragon on
dragon.
top of him.
I wish.
It's not like a wild scene where it cuts from like Martin Freeman as Bilbo and it's just like.
So I want to ask you, what has been most surprising about like a year of podcasting?
Honestly, I'm just like I'm literally just amazed that I have any listeners at all. Like, I know that sounds like a pessimistic, like self-deprecating thing, but I legitimately did not think I would have any listeners. I could be like, my own family doesn't even listen to the podcast, so I didn't think I would get any listeners. Oh, I told you guys how like a month ago we were at dinner and I mentioned something about the podcast and my dad was like, oh, you're still doing that? And I was like, yeah.
Sure I am. My parents listen to popcorn culture and they don't listen to Bacon and Eggs, so I hear you.
To be fair, popcorn culture is almost entirely about like childhood stories about your
Oh
brothers.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Ethan's
Where
not
they literally
their
will
son.
spend-
You
like-
listen to popcorn culture?
What?
Do you, Mary Clay, listen to popcorn culture?
No,
Okay.
I don't even listen to. I feel terrible because I try so hard every week to be like, oh, all right, Hello from Elsewhere. They have a new episode out. Gotta listen to it. Okay, Sincerely Us. Gonna hit it. Late to the gonna do it. And every week I fail miserably.
I listen to pretty much 0 podcasts.
I feel bad.
I
So
have been listening to books. I just finished The Hunger Games.
Oh, how was it? Good?
It was good. There's a random part where the audiobook narrator sings for like 10 minutes, and that was
Nice.
pretty rough.
oh, so
Normally
you're-
they avoid singing in audiobooks, usually.
have you listened?
not
to
Lord of the
Lord
Rings.
of the Rings?
No, haven't.
Audiobooks? There's literally
Because I'm not going to listen to the ones that aren't on Audible. We've been over this. I'm not stooping.
They're so good.
I'm
I'm sure they are.
literally
When you get them on a friendly app, let me know.
They're all on YouTube. I have each and every one of the files bookmarked on a very legal site.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the one in an app where I can click and it's and whatever his name is, Cory Doctorow,
Rob Inglis, who, by the way,
Phil
you
Dragish, the
did
good one.
admit that Rob, what's his face, makes you want to fall asleep and drive off
I'm not
a
saying
bridge.
the ones on Audible are good. I'm saying the good ones aren't on Audible.
Phil Dragish makes me want to fall asleep too, just so we're clear.
What?
Also,
No, he doesn't.
Are you kidding me? He has like a crackling fire and Hobbit music playing in the background the whole time.
Oh, see, I don't want any of that.
Oh yeah.
No, the audiobook gets like it'll get like randomly intense.
Yeah, it's good.
And like dramatic music will come,
like,
and you're like, oh, okay, we're doing that now.
Audible has finally allowed you to purchase the UK Harry Potter books, and so I think they need to do the same for the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah, but Phil Dragish is not like the UK version. He's like a fan who made the greatest audiobook of all time.
Oh, so it's not official.
Is he? I still haven't like found out the. Let me. Who is this man? Phil.
I thought he was in Game of Thrones. That sounds like a Game of Thrones name to me.
Filmmaker and artist born in Indiana.
No, but you know who's good? The dude that does the Game of Thrones audiobooks. Holy heck. Well, did. He is no longer living, but...
Let's clear this up first and foremost. I will not be covering Game of Thrones.
That's good. Yeah, you don't have
ever. I have zero desire to read those books. I have zero desire to watch that show. Oh, that's the other thing, is that like my hope is that eventually when I start running out of Tolkien content, the Amazon show will. So even if I like get to a point where there's nothing left for me to cover,
you got the Tolkien movie.
Oh, I'm gonna cover that.
You could cover all of the Chronicles of Narnia. That kind of fits.
Possibly.
It's basically Tolkien work.
I do remember at one point someone was in the books, it references like walking trees or something before you even meet the Ents, and I was like, oh, I just have this image in my head of the trees in the final battle in the Prince Caspian movie, and then someone was like, yeah, it's because C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien were like BFFs and they just stole from each other all the time.
Yeah. Also, the Prince Caspian movie definitely came out after the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, Caspian. That's what we should have covered instead of Arrival, the Prince Caspian movie.
I'm excited to talk about Arrival. You guys have been just ripping into this
also
movie.
give you the opportunity to pick a movie 400 times.
I just don't care about movies, I say to my two friends who have a movie podcast.
We try to keep it non-pretentious here. They're called films, though. If you could just...
Yeah, we're trying to keep it non-pretentious,
Oh
yet
my
we
God.
covered Arrival.
It's a little pretentious.
So I'm gonna wrap this up then. So thank you everyone listening for a year of That's What I'm Tolkien About. Thank you for listening. I can't believe that you are listening. I don't know. You know, maybe I'm being kind of pretentious here because for all I know, they clicked exit when we wouldn't shut up about Hamilton 40 minutes ago.
Hamilton.
And they were like, this isn't what I came here for. This episode says 1 year anniversary. This must be a mistake. Anyway, if you're listening, thank you. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't know how to end my bonus episodes.
Arrivederci.
Apples and oranges.
Okay.